I've just seen the Peskey funeral, the footage of the Peskey funeral service, and saw the father leading the daughter and the son out just behind the casket. Is it? Where the body lies in the casket. The mother was in the casket. The coffin was there going out, and then the son was behind that, hidden by the coffin. And then in clear view you could see the father leading the girl, the daughter, by his side out behind the son. So there was the coffin, the son, and then the father holding his daughter's hand, brother and sister. I could tell by the body language that the girl would have seen everything which happened that fateful afternoon. Let's put it this way. The 11 plus was an exam in Britain for the last 30 years. I think it stopped. It came out of practice about 5 years ago. But 30 years before that, it was an exam which 11-year-olds all up and down the country took to tell whether or not they would go to this or that senior school. If they passed it, they would be allowed to go to certain schools, and if they failed it, they would go to other schools. So I will tell you, based on my experience, 10, 11-year-olds have complete competence with all of their, let's put it this way, adult skills, adult memory, competence skills. They have all that. So, and the 11-year-old daughter in that car, when she was sat behind her mother, next to her brother, that afternoon, whilst the person who was pulling up beside her mother was taking aim to fire the gun at the mother, she would have seen everything. She would have been aware, she would have been witness to the whole event. She would have seen the person who was driving the car, who fired the gun, and she would have actually seen the confrontation between the two vehicles, the confrontation between the two people driving the two vehicles. She would have been witness to that, and she will have complete memory of that, and as a result she will be completely aware of who killed her mother. Now, whoever it is who killed her mother, she will be aware of it, and I will say to you, hand on my heart, if you sat her down in a room and made her feel comfortable enough, she will be able to tell you, whoever was asking her, whoever killed her mother, she would be able to tell you who it was who killed her mother. Okay, I've just seen the funeral service now with my very eyes, and to be honest with you, the fact that it was the girl who was the older out of the two, between the girl and the son, is actually, it gives me greater confidence to know that one day, but it gives me greater confidence knowing me sat here now, that the person who killed the mother, I won't say one day will be revealed, but I just feel more confident knowing that it was the girl who has said memory of the incident. I just feel, I have greater confidence that it's the girl who has the memory of said incident rather than the son. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I'll put it succinctly as that. I won't say any more. As I say, I have greater confidence in my heart that it's the daughter who has that witness to the event of the death of the mother. Right? I can only repeat myself now. I've got to keep tabs on the time. If the girl was sat down and was made to feel comfortable enough, she would be able to say who killed her mother. hand on my heart, she would be able to say, that funeral service now I'll say my opinion now. I'll go into further view on my opinion of the overall opinion on the funeral service and what I've just seen. In regards to the father leading out the two children behind the coffin, that was just one of the most shocking experiences I've seen. I have never had witness to anything like that. I haven't had any witness to any kind of first-hand violence in regards to within family, gun violence, murder, heavy deceit in regards to such which may lead to heavy violence with the loss of one or two members of family, within family. I have not had any first-hand experience of that, which I think makes me have such a reaction to what I've just seen. That funeral said the father leading out the two children was the most shocking thing I've seen in a long, long time. Poor girl was completely on her own, even though she had hold of her father's hand. She was completely on her own walking out of that service, and even though she was within a nice tight family unit behind the coffin, she was completely on her own. I could tell by the way her feet were moving one in front of the other. They were in no cordial fashion whatsoever. Her physical state was completely disjointed. She was completely alone, being led out of that funeral service, even though she had held her father's hand. Her father could not have been further pulled away. Her father could not have been further from his daughter if he had tried. Even though he had held of her hand, his physical language, his body language, was so far apart from his daughter, even though he had held of her hand. I'm surprised. His arm, the father's arm, his arm was so pulled tight, far away from her. It was shocking. His physical state was not at one with whoever he was holding the hand of. He was completely apart from the person whose hand he was holding. His body language told it all. He was completely separate from the person he was holding the hand from. Completely separate. And as a result, the girl was completely on her own. Even though she had held of the hand, she was completely on her own. She was an absolute disjointed mess. It was so shocking that what I've just seen was unreal. I'm going to go to bed now. Absolutely frightening, shocking stuff. I've just had to go into to say such to the camera because I couldn't go to bed after watching that without being able to express myself. I may or may not upload this. The daughter knows who killed her father. She will know. Her mother. She will know who killed her mother. In my opinion, the son doesn't. Based on what I saw at the funeral service, his body language said that he didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know, and he would be too young. If he was told, he would be too young to be able to appreciate the emotional impact of such. If he was sat and told, he is too young. He's too young. He's just going to grow up without knowing his mother. The daughter, completely to the contrary, she will be aware. She would have seen everything which happened that fateful afternoon. She's completely aware of who killed her mother. She's completely aware, based on her body language. She's completely, and based on the father's body language. father knows, based on his body language, he knows that his daughter knows who killed the mother, his wife. He is totally aware that his daughter knows. Okay? Based on my witness of the body language. Okay?